So, how do you put pants on, if you don't mind me asking?
I can only put on this pair of pants,
And
or
then shorts.
or a skirt or a dress. That's the only thing I can.
Get ready for more awkward questions like that one. On today's edition of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan, presented by Tim Hortons, a show we are mailing in because it is our last show of the week. And Diana Matheson, who was on Canada's women's soccer team, but as you can see has been injured. Yep. She has joined our broadcast team, which is very cool, for the big tourney. She's on the show to talk about that. But first, of course, we have to talk about Game 5 of the Cup Finals.
That's right. They're heading back to Boston, tied at 2 games apiece. We thought this series was over, right, when the Bruins blew out the
blowout game?
Blues.
Everyone was like, I guess this is over in 5.
Yeah, but not the case. It is Game 5. Zdeno Chara arriving with a broken jaw. He can't speak or even open his mouth. He was a game-time decision. He took the warm-up. Guess what? Chara played Game 5. Like, come on. It's nuts. Opening him into the second. It's 0-0. Chara moving slowly in his own zone. Puck is thrown behind the net. Chara and Charlie McAvoy both give chase. And Curtis Sanford able to feed Ryan O'Reilly in front. A missed assignment by the Bruins defenseman. O'Reilly scores his 6th. Sanford with a nice feed. He's got 3 points in 3 games since being inserted into the lineup. 9 seconds of the period. Torrey Krug turns it over. Gets tied up and held down by Oscar Sundqvist. No call in the play. Alex Pietrangelo walks in, outweighs Rask with a deke, but it's stopped by David Krejci. Bails out his goalie. Makes the chest save on the goal line. Keeps it a 1-goal game. 3rd period. The play everyone's talking about. Tyler Bozak trips up. Noah Chara in the circle. No call. Play continues. Blues get control of the puck. And David Perron scores. The building, it is in Boston, goes nuts with the non-call. Chara upended right in front of the official. That allows Perron to give his team a 2-goal lead. Chara's in disbelief. Cam Neely, your thoughts on the non-call? All right. 6 to go. Blues up 2-0. Torrey Krug draws a delayed penalty, takes a high stick, stays with it, finds Jake DeBrusk, who beats Jordan Binnington with the one-timer. Krug stays with the play despite taking the high stick. DeBrusk finishes it off. Okay, we got a 1-goal game. Under 2 to play. Point shot. Stopped by Binnington. Rebound loosened behind him, but Carl Gunnarsson dives and clears it away. Final seconds. Bruins net empty. Final chance. Binnington stops Krejci. 38 saves for the rookie. The Blues take Game 5. They're heading home with a chance to win the Cup in St. Louis. Wow. What an atmosphere that will be. Perron, 7 goals in the postseason. He had 4 goals in 57 games prior to these playoffs. This is going to be the 10th time in the last 12 years the Cup final goes at least 6 games. And the Bruins, they lose 2 in a row at home in the playoffs for the first time this postseason. Okay, that play that we pointed out, the non-call. A lot of talk about that, starting with Coach Cassidy.
I mean, the non-call on Achari, their player's on his way to the box. I mean, they're the only, it's right in front of the official. It's a slew foot. Our guy's gone. The spotter took him took him out of the game for a possible concussion. I mean, it's blatant. It's a big effect in the game.
That non-call taken away from the fact that Jordan Binnington matched a rookie playoff record with his 15th playoff victory in a single postseason. Ties a record set by Matt Murray, Cam Ward, Ron Hextall, and Patrick Roy. And Binnington's 38 saves, the most by a rookie goalie in a Cup final win.
Raptor fans all across Canada are feeling pretty good about themselves going into Game 4 tonight, as Jimmy Kimmel found out when he hit the streets of Toronto for some Canadian trash talk.
I mean, they're a great team. I don't think I can trash talk them. I think they're in the finals for a reason.
We are so polite. I mean, no matter how I send it to James Duthie, if I insult him, his family, his seemingly unlimited vacation time, he will still respond with nothing more than a half-hearted...
All right, thank you, and welcome back to Oakland. It was fictional movie billionaire Gordon Gekko who first said, "Greed is good." And when it comes to trying to win an NBA championship, Gordo is bang on. The original thought was the Raptors just needed a split here in Oakland. But now, with Kevin Durant officially out for Game 4 and Klay Thompson likely back but probably hobbled, it's time for the Raptors to get greedy and grab a stranglehold on this series against the wounded Warriors. It's been a rough 24 hours for the Warriors. They also had to apologize today after an incident last night when one of their minority owners shoved and swore at Kyle Lowry when he landed in the crowd chasing a ball. Billionaire Mark Stevens has been banned for a year and fined $500,000 after the incident that has garnered widespread criticism across the basketball world.
I want to thank the Warriors for the statement they issued, and in the NBA also. You know, that's just, you know, what our league's about, and protecting the players. And like I said last night, there's no room for in our game for that. You know, in that situation, you know, I don't think I could have handled it any better. I don't know him. I don't care to know him. He showed his true colors at the time, and, you know, you show what you're really about at that time in that moment, you know, and that's not, oh, you get the reaction of everyone else saying this, that, and the other. You know, that's kind of the, oh, you show what you really are.
LeBron James also posted on Instagram his anger at the incident, writing, quote, "There's no place in our beautiful game for that at all." He goes on to say, "What if Kyle had reacted and put his hands on him? You guys would be going crazy." James calling for swift action against Mark Stevens. With more on that, and oh yeah, the fact the Raptors are 2 wins away from an NBA championship, Rod Black and Leo Rautins.
Yes, James, 2 wins away, so close you can almost touch it, but much work to be done yet here in Oakland. Leo, a lot going on the sideline in Game 3. He almost got hit by a falling light, and Kyle Lowry almost got dusted by a minority owner. What did you make of that entire incident? Have you ever been involved? You were a player, of course, and a coach on the sideline.
Well, I've had incidents, certainly not on this scale with a person of that much entitlement sitting there, but at the same time, here's the issue. You know, as the fan sitting there, there's no retaliation from the player. You can poke the bear, and the bear can't do anything to you, and that's the worst part about it. It's a cowardly act, and I'm glad the NBA dealt with it sternly.
Well, you can poke Kyle Lowry all you want. When Kyle Lowry gets poked, he pokes back, usually. Kyle may not have had the production in the first 2 games, but one thing he never lacks is passion.
Yeah, you know, Kyle Lowry is the guy. He knew, and this team knew that you needed a good start. The Raptors came out with 36 first-quarter points. Who was leading the way? Kyle Lowry. He set the tone, and I love the fact it was closer to the first game than the second game and how the Raptors played. They were pushing the ball, getting the ball up the floor, playing with pace, something Steve Kerr talked about after Game 1. And if you play like that, you're going to be successful against this team. And who's the guy that gets it done? It's Kyle Lowry. And when he looks for his own shots, when he initiates the offense but is aggressive with his own offense, the Raptors become a very powerful team.
Now, Mark Stevens, the minority owner who pushed Kyle Lowry, released this statement: "I take full responsibility for my actions. At the end of the NBA Finals, I'm embarrassed by what transpired. What I did was wrong. There's no excuse for it. Mr. Lowry deserves better. I made a mistake, and I am truly sorry." Where can you see Game 4 of the NBA Finals? TSN. Raptors trying to take a 3-1 lead in the finals. It's going to be huge. It's also on TSN Direct, so grab the app if you want. It all begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Some of the very best golfers on the planet are on Canadian soil. How did our fellow Canucks fare during day 1 of the Canadian Open? Find out. You're watching SportsCenter with Jay and Dan on TSN, Canada's sports leader. You're watching SportsCenter with Jay and Dan on TSN. We're presented by Tim Hortons. That's Edwin Jackson, has played for approximately 90 major league teams. Has an ERA just over 13 in 4 starts this season. And here, Vladdy Guerrero Jr.'s throw hits Tyro Estrada in the head 5th error of the year for Vladdy. Costly. The inning continues, and DJ LeMahieu sends it off the wall. That'll bring home the first Yankees run. Jays are taking on the Yankees Thursday. Not sure if I mentioned that. Don't think I did. Next batter's Aaron Hicks, and that's gone. 3-run bomb.
Dome was open.
Dome was open. Very good point by Dan there. 4-0 Yankees. How many times has the Dome been open
this is the first time this season.
This is it. It's been a terrible season for the Blue Jays on the field and the weather. Oh, that was a nice catch by the fan in the stands. Gio Urshela. That's another home run. Edwin Jackson now with 9 homers surrendered in just over 19 innings this season. Yeah, the Jays lost this one. 6-2 the final.
First round of the RBC Canadian Open went Thursday in Hamilton, but it's the first week of June. Yeah, new date for the Open, a month earlier, so not right after the Open Championship, meaning the field got exponentially better because this is now the final tune-up for the U.S. Open. First round of the 110th Canadian Open, Brooks Koepka said he, quote, couldn't care less what happens at this tournament. 4-time major winners approach, 5 feet from the pin on 8. Oh, that was on 9, converted for one of his 2 birdies. He's 7 shots back. He's working on his game. Rory McIlroy making his Canadian Open debut. Started on the back 9, 10th hole. Wedged to within 5 feet. One of 5 birdies in his round. He is 3 under par. Before the round, players trying to hit tee shots 285 yards into a hockey net. Canadian Mackenzie Hughes hits the crossbar. Matt Kuchar, great hockey joke coming up.
I'm going to play that one where it is. I think Mackenzie's got to start visualizing a hockey goal in the middle of the fairway.
13th, hockey-themed hole. Hughes wearing a Kawhi Leonard jersey. Kawhi! Handing out stuff. And then the fans started chanting, "Let's go Raptors." Hughes, one of 26 Canadians in the field trying to win on home soil for the first time in 65 years on 16. How about this? He almost holes it. Oh. Hughes, 4 under par, 3 shots off the lead. He double bogeyed 18. The lead is held by Keegan Bradley. Nick Taylor leads the Canucks. He's tied for 2nd. Adam Hadwin also finds himself near the top of the leaderboard, looking to improve his official world golf ranking. He entered the week as the highest-rated Canadian at 79. What? Canadian Open coverage continues Friday? Oh, Nick Taylor trying to build up that solid opening round on home soil. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific across the network. I know my brother Sean O'Toole will be watching because he's called me today. He says, "Where's the golf?" I said, well.
He can't just check his Bell 5 programming guide?
He was on a ferry at the time. So, guess there was no reception.
Commuting or just hanging out?
I actually didn't ask him where he was going, but I assumed to or from an island.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dan, ahead of Friday's Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Yeah, that's tonight. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr sat down with our own Rod Black to discuss the series and Toronto's biggest threat.
What is it like to coach against Kawhi Leonard?
I think what's hard to gauge on TV is just how strong Kawhi is. You know, Kevon Looney's a big, strong guy. And when Kawhi smashed into him in Game 2, looked like a car wreck. I mean, Looney went flying. He was all the way vertical, went flying underneath the basket. Kind of just does everything really well. And he comes in this powerful package. Long arms, big hands. He's a handful.
Kawhi with a left-handed slam. Plus the foul. Hit Leonard to the line.
Well, I'd like to say thank you, Leo, because I don't know if you know, but Leo Rautins has been confused as a doppelganger with you, and I'm not sure if that happens to you, if you are a much younger Leo Rautins, and perhaps you're related.
Well, when we come back up to Toronto for Game 5, I'm going to just walk down the street around the hotel and just see if anybody calls me Leo.
Or they'll ask you for money.
If they do, I'm going to be really rude, too. That'll be great. I'll just ruin his reputation up there.
Yeah?
That's awesome.
That's pretty bang on.
Yeah, they are pretty close.
Don't forget, we've got the game Friday.
Yeah, that's right. We've got the game.
Eagles QB Carson Wentz agreed to a 4-year contract extension. It is worth, hold on to something, $128 million. And he's guaranteed, hold on to something, $107 million. 26-year-old, 21 touchdowns in just 11 starts last year. Wentz was out with a back injury last December, missed the remainder of the season. And that guaranteed money passes Russell Wilson, right?
Russell Wilson's won a Super Bowl and
Yeah.
played in another Super Bowl. I'm not sure. It's a lot of money to give this guy.
What's his career
What was his
record?
leverage? He has been injured almost every season.
He's 23-17 as a starter.
If he's healthy, he's a stud. But, yeah, they better hope he stays healthy. And someone pointed out, at the end of this contract, he'll only be 31 years old. So
Then he
he's
gets
going to get
another big one.
another massive contract.
This Saturday, the 151st running of the Belmont Stakes. Some of the favorites in the race, War of Will, Master Fence, Intrepid Heart is another one.
And, Dan, as you can imagine, it's hard to get a horse into the Belmont.
Yeah.
Lots of horses try to make it. Most of them come up short. You're going to see some of those horses in our Canadian Screen Award-winning segment, Belmont Stakes Rejected Horses. First, it's Sheila Hates You in the sassy category. Favorite activity? Holding a grudge. Fun fact, she'll never forgive you for what you did.
Next, it's Tilda Swinton. Supporting actress category. The favorite activity? Looking into your soul. Fun fact, this horse starred along John C. Reilly in the film We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Terrific performance in that film. Finally, it's Help, I'm Not a Horse. Cattle category. Favorite activity? Running into a Home Depot. Fun fact, this is a cow stuck in a ladder. This has been Belmont Stakes. Rejected horses.
Poor guys. As the NHL media continues their ongoing coverage of the Stanley Cup Final, the men and women who covers summer sports, they're diligently reporting from baseball clubhouses, football locker rooms.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking for that perfect sound bite.
And that brings us to a brand new segment for the summer. It's called Summer Scrum Lurkers.
Ooh, this is the first time it's ever aired.
Welcome inside Scotiabank Arena. All quiet right now.
Summer Scrum Lurkers. Man, it's going to be a terrific summer, isn't it?
It is.
Also, there are reports out there, Dan, that Blue Jays GM Ross Atkins has signed an extension with the club. That led to this reaction from Blue Jays fans around the nation. That's appropriate. When we return, it's the last week of the CFL preseason, therefore the last chance for guys to prove themselves. We've got those highlights coming up. You're watching SportsCenter with Jay and Dan on TSN.
Bombers and Riders also finishing the preseason skid. Zach Collaros seeing his first preseason action. Second quarter, Collaros 22-yard touchdown to Naaman Roosevelt. Collaros beginning his second season in Saskatchewan.
And I believe, Dan, that this was Derek Taylor's first call at Mosaic Stadium.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Former TSN employee, now the voice of the Riders. Matt Nichols, under center for Winnipeg, threads the needle to Lucky Whitehead. 86 yards. Whitehead played for the Jets last season. Collaros, before half, goes deep to the end zone for Darwin Adams. Collaros threw for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the Bombers win. Gainer, our buddy.
Shout out to our other buddy, Rob Vanstone, for that Derek Taylor information. Rob Vanstone in your Regina Leader Post every day. Astros, Mariners tied at 7 in the 13th. Dylan Moore, straightaway center. Jake Marisnick. Yes.
Wow, what a catch.
Ow.
He hurt himself in the process, but man, oh man, what a catch.
So that was...
He's okay.
You want more Marisnick? There you go. Edwin Encarnacion fly ball to left center. Neither Marisnik or Michael Brantley called for it. You got to call for it. That's what they teach you at first day of baseball.
In baseball school. Tiago Estrada routine grounded to third. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Nice play, nice throw. Plunks Estrada in the helmet. Here it is.
It looked like he hit him on the helmet.
That's why you wear the helmet.
They teach you that first day of baseball school. West Indies, Australia in cricket. Sheldon Cottrell. Oh, wow. No warning track in cricket. He's got to feel it out there.
The West Indies.
Great grab by Cottrell.
Is Brian Lara still on that team? Rays Tigers. Christian Arroyo trips up while trying to retrieve the ball from the left field corner. Watch it again. That's going to lead to the top 10 trips.
David Krejci puts his body on the line. Watch this chest save and a beauty. Huge. Blue still won, though.
Giants and Mets. Umpire Hunter Wendelstedt takes a ball right in the testicles, allowing us to use our popular Sports Center with Jay and Dan catchphrase, that's using your testicles.
Nito gets it. Oh, what pitch?
Angels A's routine fly ball to left. Brian Goodwin
Here comes Goodwin. Trout.
makes the catch. A's throw back to infield. Oh, it slipped out of his hand.
Oh. They teach you this on day 17 of baseball school. It's the old no throw throw.
I think that's something that happens at Angels games because that happened to, I think it was Kevin Pillar. It happened to a Blue Jay at an Angels game. Same thing.
What are they doing to the balls at Angels games?
You are familiar with the hamstring injuries, as most elite athletes are. You heard Leo. There's Shaq. Prediction quickly, Shaq. Shaq likes Toronto.
You know how this works. It's the top 10 kissing moments. But somehow this one didn't make the list? The great one on the kiss cam? He tried to score in the NHL and was almost never denied. But he couldn't score here. Kelly Chase, 2013. Bernie Federko got on the kiss cam. Couple of Blues broadcasters.
Federko. After a game-sealing interception in 2006, Steelers linebacker Joey Porter plants a kiss on Coach Bill Cowher. And Bill's family, look at their reaction. Pops.
Last month at the U.S. Open, Brooks Koepka's girlfriend goes in for the good luck kiss and then reads it really well. She's like, no? Okay. No? Okay.
2014, after eliminating the Bruins, P.K. Subban celebrating with Pierre Maguire.
Congratulations. We'll see you Saturday afternoon in Montreal for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final, PK.
Yeah, baby.
Should mention, yeah, that Brooks Koepka kiss, non-kiss is at the PGA Championship. The U.S. Open hasn't happened yet. That's at Pebble Beach. That's coming up. That's the kissing bandit, Adriano Belli. Miss that guy. Miss Michael Whalen, too.
2010, as a member of the Cavs, Shaq gets fouled while he's getting up. Kisses actor and less popular Baldwin, Daniel Baldwin.
Who's least popular, Daniel or Steven?
2014, Raps and Brooklyn. Game 5. This fan gets denied going in for a kiss on his girlfriend.
Funny.
Supposedly, the girlfriend claimed she didn't see him go for a kiss. I can see that. She wasn't looking at him.
No, she was getting ready to end it. Charles Barkley, Dick Bavetta. This kiss was fascinating.
If he get 19 points in the game, I'll kiss his ass right here. Will this be the week I have to kiss Kenny's ass? If you're going to kiss my ass, I went out and bought an ass and kissed my ass right here on national TV. This is my new donkey right here. He kissed it!
2005, Heath Herring stares down Yoshihiro Nakawa before their K1 fight when Nakawa kisses Herring, who promptly drops Nakawa with a right hand. Herring was disqualified before the fight started. Oh,
weird.
That one ended not the way I was expecting that top 10 to end.
Coming up, the highlight of the night and a very special tweet we want to show you. Jane Dan podcast brand new this week. Kayla Gray joins us, and it's the return of fan favorite Ben Teller.
Worst play of the day from the Korean Baseball League, and Eddie Butler pitching gets really upset. He walked a batter, so he kicks his glove in frustration. Oh, Eddie Butler. Will you ever win?
I like that jersey. Got to get myself an Eddie Butler jersey. Highlight of the night, Jorge Polanco, hot shot to short, and the terrific Francisco Lindor. One of the best in the biz.
Incredible. How about the lead to Kipnis when he was on the
Real nice.
That's our highlight of the night. And that leads us to our very popular You Blew It segment, where we point out our errors. Dan, in the Bruins pack, you called Zach Sanford Curtis Sanford. Curtis Sanford did play for the Blues for 2 seasons. During the Rejected Horses intro, you called Master Fencer Master Fence. And I blew it. Brooks Koepka denying his girlfriend's kiss at the PGA Championship, which he won, not the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open hasn't happened yet. Mark Forward, hilarious comedian.
He's been on our podcast.
He's been on our podcast, sent this tweet. Like, it farted while pretending to host his own TV show. I asked how many hosts fart on their show. He told me Jay and Dan fart the whole show. We just don't hear it. I didn't know. And now you know. Do you fart the whole show?
Nah. Save that for Tim's office. He doesn't have an office.
No, but we do.
So what's he doing in ours then?
That's for next week. It's Bloop Bloops time. Calling producer Tim. Today we zoom into...
Don't say beard.
My beard. We're not rehearsing, so we're good? Is that sort of the deal here?
I guess.
Oh, no.
Here we go. And now it's time for one of our most popular segments, Dado to go Nana. With the excitement of the Game 1 win and then the devastation of that Game 2 loss, it's been a roller coaster of emotions.
Oh, yeah, the only person to remain even-keeled, Kawhi Leonard. And you're going to run out of time.
Just as we've run out of time on this program.